Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me here. Today I am filming a tag video. Yes, it is another tag video. I was tagged by the lovely Claire at Smurfy Girly to talk about fragrances for key workers. So I thought I'd jump on and do that for you today. So of course, key workers includes all the amazing guys that are still working and still slogging it out during this whole pandemic. Of course, you've got doctors, nurses, teachers, you've got the Royal Mail, Post Office, Royal Mail. There's a lot of jobs that have not been able to stop keeping our country going, keeping all countries going. So just a huge shout out to every single key worker that has been working and risking their health. We're going to talk about perfumes specifically for key workers that aren't allowed to wear strong perfumes. Fragrances that just sit close to the skin, that are relaxing, that are comforting, that bring you just a little hint of something that you really enjoy. There's no particular order here. These are literally all just I grabbed a load and popped them in a box. So we're gonna go through them all, and we're gonna start with, which one's staring at me? Let's just start with my all-time favourite. Whoops. Lolita Lempicka Eau de Toilette. I'm so happy that I got a sample of this over to Claire and heard her opinion on this, because I don't hear anyone talk about this fragrance, and it was so nice to actually finally get someone else's opinion on it. And I'm glad that she enjoyed it. So it is like the eau de parfum, but an enormous hit of licorice you get in the eau de parfum. It's virtually non-existent in here. This is such a gentle powdery violet with ivy, and there's some woodsy notes in here. It's a bit green, it's a bit peppery, it's a peppery aspect, but it's very smooth, it's very shy. A lovely option for you if you love your violet and you want something soft and delicate. So next up, let's keep it purple. We're going with Bluebell Pop. I really love this fragrance. A very gentle Bluebell floral fragrance. What I love about this actually is, aside from it being a really soft, pretty little floral, there's a really interesting note in here from tomato leaf. You get this really sweet tang, and that's coming from the tomato leaf. And I find it really interesting. It gives this fragrance just a little bit of character. Stop it being just too bland and too boring. But it's a very soft floral. It's very pretty. And if you love your florals, like again, and if you want something soft and gentle and perfect for a profession where you don't want to smell too strong, or you're not allowed to smell too strong, I think this is a beautiful option for you. So that is Bluebell Pop by Stella McCartney. So next we've got another Lolita Lempicka. This is not one I talk about very often because I don't really wear it very often, but it is a very soft, beautiful fragrance, perfect for this category. So this is Fleur Defendeur. I haven't really worn this one very much. It really does disappear on my skin, at least anyway, which is a good thing and a bad thing depending on what you want from it. But this always reminds me of face cream, like Nivea face cream. It's got like a slightly powdery aspect to it. There's definitely a lovely almond note in here, but it's like face cream. And if you've ever smelled Nivea face cream, you know what I'm talking about. It's just got a slightly amped up almond touch in here. I think there's a touch of anise in here as well. But it's just a beautiful scent for the skin. It's so beautiful. It's slightly warming. It's quite comforting. And again, another fantastic choice, I think, for key worker. So that is Fleur Defendeur, and I think you can still get these on eBay. I think we'll go through all the florals, and then we'll go through the cleaner scents, and then ones maybe that are slightly more sweet. Next up, I'm going to go with Lucky from Maison Christian Dior. So Lucky is one that I really do enjoy in the spring mostly, but it is such a clean, green, watery scent, focusing on the note of Lily of the Valley. And it's very soft, it's very gentle, and that watery aspect to this, kind of transparent aspect to this, keeps it very clean and slightly fresh. It won't try and project too much, and it will just feel fresh. It will feel really pretty, really fresh. And because it is from the Maison Dior line, it's a bit bougie, so if you want a little bit of a lift, this is a really lovely fragrance for that. So that's Lucky by Maison Christian Dior. Okay, so from the same house, and for the rose lovers, we have a really beautiful, delicate rose. And this is Rose Gypsy. Beautifully delicate rose. It's very watery. It's a very transparent, but very clean rose fragrance. And if you love your rose, and obviously now rose can be really heavy, it can be too powdery or too strong or too heady. This one is completely the opposite. It's perfect for a job where you just want a delicate hint of a pretty fragrance. And if you love your rose, you really can't go wrong. Now it is expensive, but you can buy the little minis, and you can obviously buy this in a smaller size. It comes in a 40ml, 125ml and a 250ml. Anyway, with the green notes, the dewdrops and the rose, is a clean, refreshing, fresh rose, and just a lovely option again for a key worker. So next up is a really pretty floral offering from Jo Malone. This is one I wear in the summer more because to me it is quite a fresh floral. So this is Wild Bluebell. Now interestingly, these two Bluebell fragrances here are very, very different. They're both very different interpretations of Bluebell. This one to me, I think it's more Bluebell. You've smelt Bluebells in the woodland, there is a scent, and it's much more of a soft, warm, just an English country garden kind of a scent. Wild Bluebell by Jo Malone is much more fresh, much more, it leans quite cold. And actually, it's kind of an ozonic sort of smell, which is why I wear it in the summer. There's a real freshness to it, and it's got a sort of sweetness to it, almost a minty sweetness, very sort of subtle. I would consider this to be a really refreshing floral fragrance, and it's got very mild projection. The longevity isn't the best with this one. Scent tends to disappear after about maybe 3 hours, which I think is quite common for a lot of Jo Malones, unfortunately. But obviously in the profession that we're talking about and in the job roles that we are mentioning, this is obviously the perfect kind of thing. So yeah, Wild Bluebell, clean, refreshing, cold, floral. So the next fragrance is by Ormonde Jayne, and it is called Frangipani. This is such a beautiful floral fragrance, and it isn't just a Frangipani fragrance. I've never actually stuck my nose in a Frangipani flower, but I've read up and I've heard people talk about this not being a true representation of Frangipani. It is what it is. And the florals actually that I feel I'm getting from this is honeysuckle. And there's no honeysuckle in this, but that's the scent of the flower that I'm getting from this. It's just a beautifully smooth floral fragrance with a sharp lime. I think there's lime blossom in here and lime. So it's just a sharp, clean element to this. And although it's probably heavier than the rest of these, if you can wear fragrance, this is a really beautiful option for you. So that's Frangipani by Ormonde Jayne. So there's a nice selection of pretty light-hearted florals. So the first offering in the sort of clean category here, Molecule 01, Molecule 01 from Esscentric Molecules. And this is a fragrance that contains it's an isolated note of ISO-E Super. And what does that smell like? So to me, I get this, do you know if anyone's ever had pear drops, like it's a little boiled sweet? That's how this smells to me, like boiled pear drops, but it's very sharp and invigorating. It's kind of a woody scent, but not heavy. I mean, it's such a refreshing, light scent. There's kind of it's going to sound really weird, like a vinegary aspect to this, but vinegar in the most mouth-quenching, watery way, not heavy and dense and on your chips kind of way. This is perfect to keep you clean, make you feel clean. It's not strong. I've never had anyone say they can smell this on me, and I can smell it on myself. Most people don't seem to be able to smell this on themselves. It's just the way it works with some people, but I really can. So that is Molecule 01 from Esscentric Molecules. So another really clean and invigorating scent is Luna by Penhaligons. So this has got quite a dominant lemony note to it, which isn't my favourite thing. However, there's some beautiful florals in here which really, really soften the citruses out. And it's so clean and fizzy and happy. So the lemon content in is just so refreshing and clean, and it softens out with the floral. So it's just a lovely balance for a day when you just want to feel uplifted and invigorated and pretty more than anything. So that's a great choice. So that's Luna by Penhaligons. So another freshie with some fruits. This is Lavender Illusion by Viktor and Rolf Magic Collection. So this is a black currant and lavender concoction. The lavender in here is giving it such a lovely herbal, even leaning medical, but not in a bad way, just a really fresh herbal feeling. And the black currant in here is quite sharp, so it is quite a clean fragrance, and it's so pretty as well. And there's an unusual note in here called Lady's Fingers, which is giving it a kind of, I can't put my finger on what it's giving me. It's giving it something. There's a softness anyway that's kind of billowing around this kind of herbal sharp edge. So it's not too sour or bitter. This is actually a really lovely one if you're a nurse or a doctor or anything in the medical industry, because as I say, you get this clean herbal quality, but with a little bit of sweetness and bitterness from the blackcurrant. So that is a really, really beautiful option for you. So that's Lavender Illusion. So next is just a beautiful fragrance from Sylvaine Delacourte, and I only bought this recently because I just could not help myself. This is Smeraldo from the Musk collection. I really fell in love with this when I first tried it. This is a musk, but it really isn't a musky fragrance whatsoever. It is such a clean, green, but soft, beautiful fragrance. It's got Angelique, which is like green vanilla with a slightly herbal edge. I don't know if that makes any sense. It's kind of soft, but it's got a green quality to it, and a slightly bitter quality to it as well. There's also lime in here, which is not too strong, but it's making it quite fresh. It's just so pure and perfect. It's a cooling, calming, refreshing, green, beautiful, beautiful fragrance. I've got a few left here, which I would consider more the comforting, cozy kind of options. Perhaps a nurse or a doctor's done a really long shift and they're actually having to get some shut-eye at work. I mean, who knows? But there's other options as to why you might want a cozy fragrance. Let's start with another Sylvaine Delacourte. So this is Florentina. Claire also mentioned this in her video, and I completely 100% agree with her choice, in that it is just such a soft, delicate, and just a comfortable, just a quiet but pretty little fragrance. The innocent, angelic lipstick scent. Scent of lipstick on a cotton wall pad. Beautiful, soft, powdery iris. You've got a creamy almond touch in here. And also there's the musk, because this is part of the musk collection as well. So that lovely, gentle musk that's used. So that is Florentina by Sylvaine Delacourte. So next we have Dioramour by Maison, Christian Dior. I've always thought of this as very much a barely there scent on me. I always think of it as just one that I sort of spray on, it disappears, and it's just a beautiful little pretty musk that follows me around. But actually smelling it from the cap, it's a lot stronger than a lot of these fragrances. But maybe that's just because it's those sort of top notes that I'm getting. But it does, when I wear this, it really does, it goes really gentle and it really softens down and just becomes this beautiful angelic sillage. It's basically it is a very powdery iris in here. The jasmine, it's quite a sharp jasmine scent in here, but it's also powdery notes. I feel like it's more like a sweet musk for some reason. There's a real sweetness coming from something, and I think of it as being quite marshmallowy. Still a delicate skin musk, irisy, powdery fragrance. And it's quite beautiful. It's quite feminine and beautiful. The scent sort of says, you know, I am classy, I'm a lady, I'm making the effort, but I'm not full on glam at work. It's a hint of something very classy and very pretty. So that is Dioramour by Christian Dior. So next up is one of Claire's personal favourites. I know how much she loves this fragrance. This is Whispers in the Library by Maison Margiela, and it's from their replica line. It is not a skin scent. However, it is very comforting, it's very cosy, and there's a very peppery note in here which I find quite uplifting. There's such a sophisticated, classy edge to this, coming from the lovely woods in here. You get just that professional edge from this fragrance. But it isn't in your face, it's not a strong, heavy, projecting fragrance. It's a sweet, soothing, top-notch quality vanilla, with again that lovely professional edge from the woods and from the pepperiness. And for the same reason of wearing Dioramour at work, this one is kind of saying, you know, I'm at work, I am professional, but I'm making the effort. I want a little bit of luxury, I want to feel nice in my job, but without overpowering everything else. Okay, so my last fragrance suggestion and offering for you amazing key workers out there is one to make you feel special. So you just want to treat yourself, you just want to pamper yourself a little bit, and maybe it's the end of your shift, it's the last day, and you just think, fuck it, I'm going to wear something absolutely beautiful, I want to feel gorgeous, and it's not going to offend anybody. This is Maison France's Codillon Gentle Fluidity Gold. This is classed actually as a vanilla fragrance. Sweet, creamy, so luxurious, expensive smelling scent. but it's not heavy, and it's not strong or sharp or piercing or overly sweet in any kind of direction. A little expensive hug of luxury. It's vanilla, it's juniper berries, there's woods. Rich, warm, addictive, but clean. Sorry about all the fingerprints on there. It can really show up, doesn't it? It's comforting and bougie from that beautiful note of vanilla. There's also a bit of an uplifting, clean element from those sweet little berries that are in here. And the beautiful woody notes in here give a gorgeous base and a bit of a nutty vibe as well. It's just, it is luxury, and maybe it is a bit much for a normal working day as a key worker, but everyone needs a bit of luxury. Gentle Fluidity Gold by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. So those are my key worker fragrance recommendations. I hope there's something for everybody here. So let's tag some of my lovely fellow reviewers. So I'm going to tag the very beautiful French Corinne from Olfactive Stories. I'd love to know what fragrances she'd choose for our key workers. So if you've got time and if you want to do this, fantastic. I'm going to also tag V from Casually Fragrant. I love her channel so much. Would absolutely love to know what your selection of fragrance would be. Would love you to do this tag. And lastly, I'm going to tag Yana from Tom Elise. She has got the most amazing selection of fragrances. I mean, you've seen her. She stands in front of this cave of wonders. I wonder which little gems she would choose. So I shall leave you there. Stay safe, stay clean. I wish you all well. I'll see you again on my next one. Take care then. Bye.